Alright, so hello everybody, how you all doing? It's been a little while since I recorded another one of these videos, and I'm really excited to be recording another one of these. And as you can see, I have switched my total environment to Manjaro, and I totally love Arch Linux, so I figured, hey, you know what, let's just install Manjaro, see how it will work out, and it seems to be working perfectly fine for my setup now. So I figured, hey, let's just try and use OBS, and it turns out that OBS works perfectly fine with my system. So I'm going to use OBS again from now on, and it's really amazing to see that Manjaro pretty much fixed all my problems. My graphics card is working properly. I'll make a video real soon why you should consider using Manjaro Linux instead of using a distribution like Ubuntu, for example, and why it's also a beginner-friendly distribution. I will go into that in a future video that I'll make, hopefully real soon. But in today's video, we're just focusing on the pacman package manager, which is a package manager that is found in most Arch-based distributions. So I'm going to go over like the really basic stuff that you will need to know in order to start using it, you know, to know what certain things are, what certain things do. And there's also another thing. It's mainly developed by the Arch Linux developers, this package manager, so if something changes in Arch, it will most likely change in Manjaro as well, so keep that in mind. So anyway, let's go back to today's topic. Today's topic is pretty much the package manager, and we're going to go over to how you can use it, what you could use and such. Also, there's another thing. Even though pacman is the only official like package manager for Manjaro that will take, you know, things from the Manjaro repository, there's also something called the AUR, which you have access to if you're using Arch Linux or Manjaro. You can access it using, for example, the yay command, which you can install. There's a ton of guides online how you can get yay installed in your system. So that's that. You can use yay to install software from the AUR. I'm not gonna cover the AUR today. All I'm gonna focus on today is just the basic Manjaro repository. So please keep that in mind whilst watching this video. So first, a important thing to remember. The first command you will most likely learn and want to know about is a way of updating or installing your updates, basically, and updating all your packages. So the way you can do this in Manjaro is, if you want to just update your package lists, just do sy. This will just type in my password real quick. What this will do is will synchronize all your package databases. So if you want to just do that, you can use sudo pacman-sy to do so. There's also this command. Oops, not this command, but I wouldn't recommend that you run this. This will pretty much force a system update, but it really depends if you really want to do it. I'm currently running the latest version of pretty much everything. Aside from Trizen, I'm gonna cover it in a future video where I've got this installed. Just, you know, that's that. So if you wanna install updates, you would do it with the syu command, because it will update the package list and then install the updates. If you just want to install the updates from what you have, you can do this just like that. But since I don't have with the su tags, but since I don't have any updates, it's not gonna do anything. There's something I would recommend, which is something we'll cover in terms of installing software. Let me first talk about searching packages, because that's what you will use most likely first before anything else. So for example, you wanna find a package that you wanna use. So for example, there is I already have VLC, so let's say when I install pacman, do I have pacman installed? Not pacman. No, I don't have PC1FM installed. So one thing you can do is you can search for a certain package. A way we would do this is by doing sudo pacman S for searching, and then the package you want. In my case, pacman.fm, for example. It will list for me all the available packages from the repository which I can install. For example, there is a core library of pacman.fm Qt, which is libfm-qt, which is related to pacman.fm Qt, which is the LXQT manager. It's basically a port of pacman.fm. Then you have pacman.fm itself. There are two versions, the original one without GTK3 support, and then there's the GTK3 edition, which has GTK3 support, which is pretty much the rundown of all the searches you can see there. So if you want to search for a certain package, you can just type in the keyword you want to search for, and it will list out all the packages that you may possibly need. There's also, for example, you have when you're installing packages, you have quite a few packages installed on your system, for example, and you want to list pretty much all of them that you have installed. To get a list of your packages, you can do pacman. It's just listing, so you don't have to run it as sudo. So you can do pacman -q for a query, and then L. What this will do, it will list all the packages on your system that are installed on your system, basically. Now, since I have quite a few packages installed, it's gonna take a little while, but you know, it's because I am that way. I have quite a few packages. So that's finding and listing packages. Here comes the part I should mention some things before doing. So first off, I would highly recommend that you never install packages without updating your system bus. So make sure to run this command first before doing anything else. This will update your system to the latest version, therefore ensuring that all the packages won't result in your system not being bootable next time, because it may lead to that situation. It happened to me on a few occasions back in the day when I was using Manjaro originally, but with that knowledge now, I don't have to, you know, be worried about any installation breaking anything on my system. So it's something you should keep in mind. So make sure to run this command first, and then you can start installing packages. For example, you can install packages by using this command and typing in the package you want. For example, I want to install pacman.fm. To do this, I just use this command and pacman.fm. I could use this. It will work in my favor, therefore trying to install everything. But there is a simpler version. The simplest version is by getting rid of these extra two tags, leaving it as this, just sudo pacman-s. So this will just prompt you with the installation of a certain piece of software. The reason why I would recommend to run your command as this is it makes sure that you have the latest update installed first, and then it will install the package that you want, which is something I would recommend that you use instead of doing it this way. But since I know that my system is up to date, I don't have to worry. So to install this package, it will list out, look for conflicting packages. It will list out the packages it's gonna install, which is only 6 in my case, and it won't take that long. So I'm gonna accept it and let it install, and it's going to download all the packages and install them for me, which is a really neat thing considering all the stuff, and it's pretty much installed right away. And what you can do is you can, oh, I don't have Xarchiver installed, so let's install Xarchiver as well. It's a really useful piece of software, so let's install Xarchiver as well. Why not? I don't have that installed, so it's better to have everything installed that you might need. There we go. So now that we have pacman.fm, we can just look for it. So pacman.fm, you can see it's installed. I can open up my file manager like this, and it's opening up pacman.fm on the top right there. As you can see, it has opened successfully. It has all the files listed like this. It's actually one of my favorites, but I like the Dolphin one, the integrated one. So that's that. So since we've actually mentioned installing packages, I think I should mention removing packages. So when it comes to removing packages, there are multiple ways of removing them essentially. So I will show you a command later on I will recommend in terms of removing packages. So basically, the basic way of removing packages is by using pretty much the same base. So sudo pacman -r, but you use the -r variable instead of the -s flag. That's what I meant. The -r flag instead of the -s flag. The -s flag pretty much says, hey, I want to install something, whereas the -r flag says I want to remove something. But this isn't the only method you can do this. For example, I want to remove pacman, for example, because I do not want it. It will ask me if I want to remove this, but you can see it has some optional dependencies that you do not need to have installed. Well, there is a other option. For example, when you try to remove a package this way, it will leave some dependencies behind, which, for example, in pacman is xgd-utils. xdg-utils. I don't really need that, so yeah, that's another thing. So if you want to remove it with all its dependencies, it's actually really easy to do. To do so, all you have to do is put in the N flag right behind the R flag, and what it will do, it will pretty much remove all the configurations. But there is another thing. This isn't pretty much the only thing left you can do. You can pretty much get rid of all the configuration files. There's also another thing. I would recommend that you add the C command right behind it, or actually the S command and then the C command. Well, not the C. Use just RSN like this. This will remove all the dependencies along with other stuff. So you can see it lists out 6 packages, whereas before it would list out only 1 package. By doing this, it will remove all the packages you do not need in order to use it in your system. So it will pretty much make sure to remove every single one of those packages we've just installed. So if it comes to removing software, I would recommend that you use sudo pacman -r-sn like this, and then the package name. It will remove not only the application itself, but also all the pieces of software that you do not need, which is actually important if you're trying to save on a lot of space, which happens to be my use case. For example, I want to save as much space and I don't want to waste a ton of space just by having unneeded pieces of software installed on my system. Let me just see. Yeah, there's also one more thing we're going to have to do, and I think that's pretty much it. So we can remove it like this, no biggie. So let's say we want to remove it, so we type in yes, and it will remove everything that we do not need. It's fully removed from our system, and it's just fine. However, even though it may have removed it, we still have the packages downloaded in our system, and we want to clean out our system. We don't want it to be blocked up by these pieces of crap that we do not need. So a thing you can do is you can clean your cache. One command I would recommend to use, there's 2 ways you can do this, which are all on the same command. So you do sudo pacman -s, and then followed by the C tag. There's another version. There's another version with 2 C's, but let me tell you something. Never use this. Use this only with care. If you break something while using this command, it's not my responsibility. If you want my word of advice, use just the one single C tag. This will clear out the cache of all your packages that are no longer installed. It will free up enough space on your system, and it's more than enough. So just use this. If you want to clean it out, use this only. It works really well, and I recommend that you do it this way. You just have to type in Y to remove it. It will ask again, so you will have to do it again. As you can see, it takes a little while because it's removing the stuff from the cache. So just be patient. You could remove it manually, but I won't suggest it. Just use the integrated command for removing this instead of doing it manually, and then say yes to remove unused repositories. It really helps with speeding up your system in the long run. And that's pretty much it. There's like nothing else you need to do. This is pretty much all the basics that you need to know in terms of using pacman. There are a bunch of different commands that you can use, but I just don't suggest it. It's not needed. You just need these basics, and that's pretty much it. There's also like the configuration file and such, but I'm not gonna cover it. It's not important. This is just the basics of using the pacman package manager. I will soon make a video about why you should use Manjaro Linux. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to share it around, leave a like, or maybe even subscribe if you like this kind of content. Also, I have a Patreon now. Well, I had it for a while, but if you wanna support me as a creator, please consider donating there. You can donate just a little bit and I'll be happy. It will help me out a lot if I want to keep doing this. So please, if you find some spare change or at least something of that matter, or really want to support me, consider donating. It will really help out a lot. And yeah, on that note, I think I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to stay safe, have fun, and yeah, just have fun and don't do anything weird or stupid. So yeah, see ya.